in their heels. They wouldn't agree to the word officiate. They'd invite her to give the public lecture, but only to contribute to high holiday services. No, I said, she must be invited to officiate. They offered participate in services. No, officiate or nothing.
You should have agreed. Who cares about the wording?
I don't know what possessed me. I said, gentlemen, if this is how you propose to address a distinguished American celebrity, well then, we wish to have nothing to do with it. I turned on my heel and marched toward the door.
You didn't! Attend, be present, officiate. What difference does it make?
All the difference in the world. Call me suspicious, but we know what these men are capable of. Without that word, there'd be nothing to prevent them from denying the whole thing. And when Miss Frank arrives, ushering her upstairs on the grounds that we're an Orthodox synagogue and that's where women sit.
Oh, so what happened?
Mr. Landsberg, bless his heart, proposed a phrase we could all live with. She'd be invited to participate in a leadership capacity from the main floor of the sanctuary. In the end, no. Because Mr. Landsberg went one better. He's secretary, so as he's recording it, he starts muttering something like, that won't fit. Then, as he's calmly crossing his teeth and dotting his eyes in that flamboyant way he has, he says, I had to shorten it to officiate to fit on the line. We all know what we mean by it. Everyone was dumbfounded, but it was too late. He'd written it. So that's the official record in the minute book, and Mr. Landsberg will be writing to invite her.
Ladies, ladies, so the motion reads as follows, that a letter be written to Miss Ray Frank of California, inviting her to Victoria to officiate for us at our high holiday services, in the hope that she may revive Judaism in this place, which has been sadly neglected since we have been without a rabbi.
Shona and Yom Kippur.
For a fee of $100 plus steamer fare. Her duties will include New Year's Eve morning and evening services on Rosh Hashanah, as well as Kol Nidre, followed by morning and afternoon Yom Kippur services. Ms. Frank will also deliver a Sunday lecture to the children on a biblical subject of her choice.
Maybe she'll do Heartthrobs of Israel.
Lastly, she will be asked to deliver a public lecture open to all Victoria citizens on a cultural and non-denominational subject.
Oh, let her choice be music.
This lecture shall be advertised at our expense in the Daily Colonist, with tickets available to be had for 50 cents each at H. L. Salmon Cigar Store, J. Isaacs of Johnson Street, or H. Freeman at 111 Government.
Mrs. Phillips, you're a genius. I'm stunned.
I'm not surprised at all. My cards predicted it.
Please.
But will Miss Frank accept?
It comes out to about $12.50 per lecture. She probably got a lot more in California.
That was Rabbi Philo's salary for the whole month. But you know what? Permission to enter? Permission granted. Good day, Mr. Schultz. A meeting of the Hebrew ladies is in session. Did you wish to address this assembly?
Yes, if I may, I have a matter to discuss with you that pertains, I believe, to the subject of your meeting today.
About Miss Frank.
Yes, about Miss Frank. Ladies, please sit. The president of the board came to me for a legal opinion and told me about your plans.
If anyone should support this effort, Mr. Schultz, it should be you. Miss Frank is very interested in art and
I'm all for it. I'll even come to the services to hear her. But there's something you should know. Now, don't get all excited. It's probably not as bad as it sounds.
What? What is it?
An acquaintance of mine knows a lot about Miss Frank and her speaking career, and he assures me that Miss Frank...
What? What?
That Miss Frank has an agent.
An agent?
A what?
A theatrical agent, manager, one Samuel H. Friedlander by name, of Portland, Oregon, owns and operates the Portland Opera House.
Oh no, we'll never live this down. She has a theatrical agent, are you sure?
afraid so.
Who told you this?
That's right. Who says this? Some opium-eating chorus girl of your acquaintance?
No, it's my friend Mr. Marsh, manager of the Theatre Royal on Government Street. He manages all the shows out of Portland. Says he knows Friedlander well, has met him many times and corresponds with him almost every week. He said that Friedlander came to him a few years ago and tried to book Miss Franken at Theatre Royal, and he didn't think that she'd draw. He said if she shot a gun and rode like Annie Oakley, maybe she'd draw a crowd, but Friedlander assured him that all she does is speak, and, well, there's no market for that in Victoria, said Marsh.
No wonder the praise is also hyperbolic. It's probably written by her agent. We've been had.
Have we been had, Mr. Schultz?
Not necessarily. A preacher could have an agent to handle the salaries and whatnot. But there is a small chance that Miss Franken is in some way a professional performer.
You mean an actress?
I could just perish for shame! Eva, dictation! There's still time to cancel.
Not so fast! I think we should give Miss Frank the benefit of the doubt. The invitations have been sent. Let's see if she accepts.
Are you out of your mind? I've just convinced the board that a showgirl is a prophet of Israel! I'll be the laughing stock of the town, possibly the world!
For Friedlander to represent her, she has to be very good.
At what? Bending spoons? Pulling matzo balls out of her hat?
Friedlander handles real stars. Mark Twain, Henry Irving, Emma Calvey. I just thought you should know so you'd be prepared.
Prepared to stop this madness at once?
No, to defend her in case of any rumors.
I will not defend the idea of an actress coming to a vigil. And what kind of a name is Ray anyway? Rachel is a perfectly good name for a Jewish woman, and I think the fact that she doesn't use it is highly suspicious. I knew this was a bad idea!
The president and the rest of the board are completely behind it. I came to you first, though.
Thank you for your discretion, Mr. Schultz, but I'm afraid it's out of the question now.
Mrs. Phillips, I think you might be overreacting.
Mrs. Phillips, rabbis are paid. And if she is an itinerant rabbi, she would need local representation to handle the travel arrangements and whatnot.
Miss Frank is not a rabbi of any kind, itinerant or otherwise. I've told you that. She's what? A Hebrew cowgirl who rides around the country giving lectures about beauty and Israeli heartthrobs? Oh my God. Eva, right. The president, who sincerely regret... No, you should write to her directly. Dear Miss Frank.
Mrs. Phillips, even if she is an actress, she's probably a better rabbi than some bearded old Pollock.
An actress, a better rabbi than an actual rabbi?
She's also a journalist, did you know that? I checked her out through my press league. She was sent out by her paper to write a series of articles on Spokane. That's how she came to speak in the Opera House. She is a real career-driven woman, Mrs. Phillips.
What is it with you Germans? Mr. Landsberg wants a rabbi who wears moccasins and beats a drum, and your ideal rabbi is a cub reporter in a skirt? Or perhaps you'd rather we invited Emma Goldman up here to organize a strike and overthrow the government?
Well, better an atheist anarchist than some ignorant old theologian from the Polish shtetl
Miss
who has
Frank
no idea
is
what the
Polish, Mr. Schultz.
No, she's American. She was born and educated here and is part of the modern world.
Fine, so read her articles in the paper. Go see her perform in the theater. Maybe she'll team up with Sarah Bernhardt for a double bill. Miss Frank is Salome and Bernhardt is John the Baptist's severed head. Eva, right.
Sarah, do you think of what we've achieved? How can you want to back down now?
Why do you even care, Mr. Schultz? You're not exactly a pillar of this congregation. Are you trying to bring disgrace upon this community? A community that's given you everything you have?
Listen to you! You sound like them!
I'll tell you why. It's because nothing ever happens in this drowsy old village. It'll be exciting. It'll be real news.
Bad answer, Mr. Schultz.
Okay, I'll tell you why. It's because I want to know why such an assimilated young woman like Miss Frank still cares so much about Judaism.
So write her a letter and ask her. Because the Hebrew ladies are not going to sacrifice our impeccable reputation just to satisfy your curiosity about
Your
this
impeccable reputation? How about a reputation for lying while in office? What? This is conduct unbecoming of your presidency, Mrs. Phillips. This synagogue is in zero danger of a forfeit so long as a million can be made, I bet you knew perfectly well when you made all those threats to the board yesterday.
What threats to the board?
What threats, Sarah?
I only told the board that the Hebrew ladies were prepared to do whatever's necessary to save this congregation, and we are.
Then let Miss Frank come. I'll even attend the services for the whole year if you do. And I'll bring the levies and the Goldmans.
Not likely. They haven't shown their faces here in years.
Or pay their dues. I will, just you see. And I'll bring all of the other lapsed members I can find. You'll see. But just keep mum about Miss Frank's theatrical credentials for the moment, all right?